Hey guys, it's KNM786 here with another LEGO review. This is from the City Arctic line. It is the City Arctic Supply Plane from the Arctic Explorers line from City. It was from 2018. So a whole lot of stuff going on here. You've got the box here in the background, big good sized box. We're going to get that out of the way. Let's look at the actual set itself. So we're going to just pull the plane away, which is the main thing. We'll save that for a little bit later. You've got this huge construction vehicle, kind of a saw thing, a little jet ski. Let's start with the animal. So this whole line, the basis is to find frozen fossilized things. And in this case, it is a saber-tooth tiger that's kind of frozen, so we're going to take a look at that here, and we will see you've got it all kind of frozen solid here, sort of, minus the top. Pretty straightforward, kind of ice with the whole kind of frozen, wouldn't really say fossilized, but maybe petrified in a way, but the frozen saber-tooth. And then in order to get it out, we're going to take a look at getting them out in a second here. You obviously need something that's a large, crane-like vehicle here, which it's very, very cool. You've got like the big saw here, you can spin it and really get it going, which is kind of cool. And then of course, to make it easier, it's articulated, which is really, really cool as well. It's got tracks, they move really well. No type of a cheater wheel, it's just the way they're set up, they just do really well. We've got the lights, full set of lights, so if he's kind of trudging along, you know which way's back, which way's front. Full lights up front, of course. Lights on the actual item itself. So let's back him off just a bit. So if he's trying to break him free, it's a bit excessive, to be honest, definitely a little bit of overkill, I think, in terms of what's really needed to get through into this particular thing here. But I guess, if you're cutting away at it and whatnot, chopping through, and the whole point is as he's chopping through, you're breaking pieces off. So, this piece will come off, this piece will come off, without, that'll come off, that'll come off. And a lot of these are not held on by a lot. This one's a little bit more solid, but it's still pretty easy to break off. But generally speaking, you break all those off, and all of a sudden, you've got them out. Again, like I said, probably a bit of overkill to be using that. Maybe just to get the initial, as it's a bit much, I think, to really do. And I usually will take it, and I will take this and fold this back out of the way, so it's just kind of just not in the way when he's kind of driving around. So you've got it kind of behind him. I'm going to put him off to the side for now. So, saber-tooth tiger, head articulation, I guess we'll say kind of waist articulation, so you can have it so it's ringing up if it's actually, alive, if we've broken it free. And then usually I'll have the head down just because it makes a little more sense that it's all just kind of sitting in there. And there's a little spot right back here, you'll see where the tail goes, so that's kind of neat. There's a spot for the tail, and then you just rebuild it. Pretty straightforward. There's a jumper here that holds this piece on, and then a jumper for this piece as well. It just fits around the head, and there we go, all sealed up again. Next one is this cool little snowmobile. You've got headlights. We have tail light right there. Let me pull the crate off. There we go. And actually a spot for a second minifigure. Speaking of the minifigure, We're going to pull him out. Actually, I did not show you guys a minifigure from the other one, so I'll show you that too in a second here. So similar to some of the other ones that have the two-tone, unfortunately just the way that it's printed onto the blue, the opacity is a little weak. It should have been much more yellow. Should have been like the arm, which is okay. Minifigure with no back head printing. Cool helmet that fits what he's kind of doing. We'll set him down. And then put that to the side. This is just a little marker. So in theory, let's say he finds it for the saber-tooth first. Just so you don't lose it, you could throw a little marker on there so everybody knows where it's at. I just like leaving it up there. Inside of this particular crate, let's see what we have here. Quite a few things. So, you have a saw. And we have a walkie-talkie, which is always useful. And then we have these little batons, I guess you could say light batons, light sticks, so to help guide the plane in. So pretty cool as well. We'll kind of get those all situated. And then, as I said, I forgot to show you guys the minifigure. Let me move him forward just a little bit so I can get the crate on there. There we go. Kind of get it centered. That's inside of this giant saw machine here. So pretty easy to get him out of there. You're literally just pulling the top of it off. And if it's a little easier, you can pull this off as well. I find that pulling them both off just makes it easier to get to the minifigure inside. I'm going to pull the control sticks out of the way. Wiggle him out of there. Pretty cool. It's got a smiley face on. Again, no back printing on the head. Generally happy. There's one in here in the series that's rather discontent, but everyone else is pretty much just the usual kind of chill. No coffee mugs yet, which in City is always interesting when there's not a coffee mug. And then we'll just cinch the back down. There we go. All right, all good to go. Full lights and everything. All right, main event. The plane itself. Very kind of interesting looking plane there. Very large tail section. You've got your lights, quite a bit of glass windows. This is the Arctic supply plane, and because of that, it actually does have the ability to hold something, which is nice. There's another one they had in this series, which was a transport plane that really was more like a sky crane. So nice to know that this actually holds things. So as we're looking at the exterior here, I like kind of this antenna here, as well as a light here. Landing gear turns, which is always nice. As we look at the back, we do have a cargo hatch. That cargo hatch, and there's actually a container in there which I don't know if it'll fall out. Nope, not quite. Here's something else though. So this right here will tilt up out of the way fully so you can really get in there. Now, how do we get that out? Sometimes, because it's in there, we're going to pull the top of this off. I'm going to pull the top of this main canopy off, which is pretty cool. It's a helicopter style canopy. I'm going to just push that so I can get it out and show you guys what's in that case. There we go. I'm going to take that. It's like a bird that's just not having it today. Alrighty, so what do we have in here? We got snowshoes, and we have a laptop, which, let's see, I don't recall if there was a sticker on the laptop or if it was just blank. I'm going to find out if I can get my finger in there to open it. Nope, just simple blank one, so it is off. And the crates technically can both fit in there. I felt that the snowmobile looked a little empty, so I just kind of have one on there because I think it's kind of neat to have. So that closes, that comes back down. Good to go. Let's take a look at what's in the actual plane itself here. You can see the back of the crate right there. So we've got two minifigures, and you've got this console, which if you can see right there, pretty neat console. We'll pull these guys out and kind of wiggle these guys out here, or just the head. There we go, and you two, they're really wedged in there. All right. So let's start with the one that was towards the back here. So there we go. The back, and then when you've got this fuzzy Eskimo style kind of hood there, which is definitely very Arctic looking for sure. Put her back in there, and then we've got a pilot as well with leg printing. There we go. Alrighty. Get you back into your spot. And then in terms of attaching everything again here, so this piece goes across here. So that is essentially, if I can get it to line up with the studs here. There we go. And again, as I'm handling this, I'm trying to look through the camera to line that up. There we go. Just had to get that piece in there. Ah, good. Proper click. And then this one's only held on by two studs, so it's pretty easy. So you've got pretty good engine detail on this plane. I'm kind of just grabbing it from different places. It's pretty solid. I like the engine detail. I guess we could say it's somewhat of a jet engine, though that is interesting as most planes in real life for the Arctic stuff tend to not do that. At least not that I've seen from a lot of the, they're usually propeller planes, but there are jet engine planes that do it as well. I think it just depends on the actual weather. So we've got this plane here that can transport various things, and then we've got this very large construction type vehicle with a big saw. We've got a little support craft, and of course, I'm just going to stick this up here. You've got the saber-tooth cat that's all frozen. That is the Arctic Supply Plane from 2018. It is from the City Arctic Explorers line. This is the second version of that line. The first version came out many years before that. And that is what I have for you at the moment. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.